Remarkable! Incredible! Unbelievable!
Save! And Spark our champions! Good up, Pepe!
Goal! It doesn't get any better than that!
Hello everyone, welcome to the Game in Frame live stream. I'm Josh Pratt and we're at St John's Belston Stadium. The Pancyprian Freedoms are hosting New York Athletic Club tonight in the Eastern Premier Soccer League Metropolitan Conference. The Pancyprians have the advantage in the title race as we approach the midway point in the season. Here's the standings, and these are actually the standings from the start of today. Big result earlier in the Pancyprian Freedom's favour. Hoboken scoring late to equalise against Lansdowne Yonkers. So that currently leaves the Pancyprians and Lansdowne tied at the top. But of course the Pancyprians have 2 games in hand. So the Pancyprians could go 6 points clear before Lansdowne kick another ball. They've got Nyack tonight and then Richmond next. But the Pancyprians' guess this evening might not be a simple proposition for the National Amateur Cup champions. This is a very different Nyack team to the one that avoided relegation through a late goal on the final day of last season. This time round, Nyack are sitting closer to the playoff zone. They've accrued 13 points in their first 9 games. That's only 5 less than they did in all 22 games last campaign. They've beaten the Greeks and came minutes away from doing so against Lansdowne as well. And perhaps the best stat to illustrate Nyack's transformation is their goal difference. Last year, it was the worst in the Metropolitan division at -34. This year, it's only -1. And that's really owing to the 5-1 drubbing they got last week to Manhattan Celtic, which has certainly been the lowest point in this season and their only heavy defeat of it. It's a question of which Nyack is going to show up this evening. The Pancyprians were expecting their starting 11 to be Josh Levine in goal, Jens Hoff and Jack Sloys the centre-backs, Devin Hinu at left-back. New signing, Sean Towie starts once again at right-back, his second start for the Pancyprians since signing at the end of October. Samir Fathazada, Jordan Bailon and Joe Holland make a familiar trio in the midfield. And then James Tristino and Rafa Bustamante, the wingers, and Junior Rosero, who scored 2 excellent goals last week, leading the line. And on the bench, notably, there's another of the Pancyprians' new signings, Harry Cook, who is a junior at Queen's College and scored an astounding 23 goals in 18 games this fall. The Englishman came off the bench last week for his debut. Played just the last 30 minutes against Zoom, but was involved in the Pancyprians' 4th goal. Be interesting to see if he can make his mark off the bench tonight. Well, guys, we'll be back with the kickoff shortly. The Pancyprians with the chance to open up some daylight at the top of the Metropolitan Division table. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. Hello everyone, welcome back to St John's Belson Stadium. Out come our teams, the Pancyprian Freedoms, with the opportunity to go 3 points clear at the top of the table tonight with another game in hand. But Nyack promised to be anything but easy, and they've brought out quite a strong lineup tonight, at least on paper. Peter Wenzel in goal, Evan Costley, the centre-back, alongside Jason Gaylord, who was told has never lost its field. He played for Lansdowne, of course, before. Daniel Giorgi at right back, Aidan Conaghan at left back, and then expected in the midfield to be Chris Tishuente, Sam Durand, and Umar Osman, who's certainly one to watch. Osman was at Michigan, Gatorade Player of the Year. Also was involved in Man City's youth setup for a time. And then the front three, expecting it to be Jake Mann, Stefanos Hondrakis, and Ryan Hilke, who was Nyack's top scorer this season, with 5 goals to his name. And this is our third of 4 EPSL Metropolitan Division games airing this afternoon and evening on Game of Frame. It's been a terrific afternoon. We still got the Greeks and Richmond to come as well tonight. That will be an 8:30 p.m. kickoff, so happening relatively simultaneously to this one. Richmond, of course, have handed the Pancyprians a big helping hand by taking a shock point away from home to Lansdowne on Thursday night. And that leaves the Pancyprians with the chance to go 6 points clear of Lansdowne before they kick another ball, which would be not a decisive advantage, but certainly a considerable one as we approach the midway point in the season. Something worth remembering right off the bat is Lansdowne only dropped 9 points last season to win the EPSL Metropolitan Division. They've now already dropped 6. Now we're hardly halfway through, but of course it's never that simple. The season's never exactly the same. But if the Pancyprians can win tonight and against Richmond next Sunday, they certainly will have an advantage. Nyack are 9 games into the season themselves, and with a perfectly even record, 1-4, drawn 1, lost 4. We're in a relatively good patch of form until the last 2 games, in which they led Lansdowne with 3 minutes to go and then conceded twice in very dramatic fashion. And then they lost last week 5-1 to Manhattan Celtic. That was their first heavy defeat of the season. Jordan Bailon, lovely switch. Tristino just misjudging the bounce. It's a nippy evening at St John's. We've got a decent gust as well, which you may be able to see at times. We're in a quite exposed position at the top of St John's, to say the least. Well, this Pancyprian side coming in tonight in brilliant form, won their last 3 games. They've only dropped 2 points in the league so far. That was against Lansdowne. In fact, their form so far mirrors what they did in the full 2023 part of the season, where they won every game bar against Lansdowne, which they drew. And then there's a big delay by Peter Wenzel, Junior Rosero, nearly picking his pocket. Towney and Pancyprian's new signing has started both games. It's been the second since joining the team. Joe Holland couldn't poke it through to Rosero. Hilke immediately closed down. Cistuente able to spin out the pressure. Hilke able to keep it in, but nothing more than that. Jordan Balon. Jens Hoff, the Norwegian, finding Balon, who drills out to Rafa Bustamante, who's won the armband tonight for the Pancyprians. He helps it on. Hinu galloping forwards. An underwhelming cross in. Had a few blue shirts to aim for. Hilke unable to keep the ball for Nyack. Pancyprians having most of the possession in these opening minutes. Fathazada. Towie. Hoff. Tristino. Towie got some of the ball, and the linesman is going to give the Pancyprians a corner kick. It's a good surge down the right channel by Towie. Looked as if James Tristino had slightly overhit that pass, but the right back not giving up on it. And Joe Holland can deliver in the cross. Everyone back for Nyack. Swung towards that near post. Cistuente not really getting it away from the danger. Eventually, he's helped out by Hilke. Joe Holland. Conaghan with him. Cistuente interception the pass, but it'll be another throw for the Pancyprians deep inside Nyack's half. Junior Azero. Not the best touch he has produced. He certainly had some sublime touches last weekend for both his goals. Brilliant touches in the air to set himself up for finishes. That going short, should rather play them under pressure. Wenzel clearing it partially. Balon. Hoff. Towie. Hoff again gives it to Jack Sloys. Jordan Balon, who scored in the last meeting against Nyack, did Balon. Here's Bustamante looking to cut inside. And Joe Holland tried to cut it back on the byline, lost his balance. Giorgio. Nyack doggedly sticking to playing it out from the back from the goal kick, but it is not working at the moment. It's putting them under sustained pressure repeatedly. Fathazada. Tristino. Returns it to Fathazada. Fathazada. Joe Holland. Drives it into Rosero, whose first touch was heavy. And a slightly sluggish start by Rosero. But Nayak are hardly getting a look at this ball at the moment. Rosero. Towie. Fafazada. Off again. Fafazada. Towie has been positioned almost entirely in the right wing position thus far. He's fed it down the channel to Joe Holland, who will win another corner kick. He thought so, but the referee overruling his linesman. Joe Holland not pleased with that, and once again, Nayak opt to go short. And once again, it's played them into trouble. Fafazada. Joe Holland looking to challenge for it. Fafazada finds the feet of Joe Holland. Rosero in his shooting range. Took it onto his unfavoured foot. And didn't get real purchase behind the strike. And Nayak with a free kick on the halfway line. Towie looking for the foul, and he will get it. Sean and Bailon. Pancyprian's probing on the edge, and Tristino went down. Appeals for a foul that went unheeded by the referee. And Towie getting his angles a little wrong there. Well, back to Jordan Balon. And Hinu again is galloping up on the left side, crossed in. That was a dangerous ball. No one had committed at that far post. And Nike survive. Cifuente bringing it out. And Jake Mann looking towards Hilke, but he's been watched very closely in these first 14 minutes by Jack Sloys and Jens Hoff. That's a really good delivery and cut back by Hinu. Not enough numbers in the box attacking the ball. Hinu. Joe Holland. It goes back to Jordan Bale on the Pancyprians, continuing to have almost the entirety of possession. Not a good ball there by Jens Hoff, though. Cifuente. Giorgio. Pancyprians pressing hard. Towie smelling blood. Conaghan dealing with it well. And that was a good ball by Duran there. But Andrakis not on the same wavelength. Rosero, lovely touch. Bustamante, just Tristino in the penalty area at the moment. Hinu. Bustamante, and that will be a free kick for the Pancyprians. Another opportunity for Joe Holland to deliver into the penalty area. Swung in low, didn't have the legs on it. And then the referee is blowing his whistle. Not sure exactly what the call was there by the referee. Well, Nike continues to stick doggedly to the possession game, but it's really not working for them at the moment. Fathazada, Towie, Tristino, Towie, and a deflection into Wenzel's hands. But this doesn't feel sustainable for Nike at the moment. It is waves of Pancyprian attacks. They've managed to get a couple of crosses into the penalty area. It's just a matter of time before one of those connect. Jordan Balon. That's a wonderful ball to Tristino, who brings it down expertly. Searching in towards Joe Holland. It was well read by Kotsilev. Be a thrown right by the corner flag for the Pancyprians. Towie. Hoff showing a little bit too much, and if Mann had got that pass right, there's a chance there for Hilke. Certainly a gap. Giorgio. Kochilev. And one back by the Blues. Joe Holland. Floating at crossfield once again on a penny for Tristino. And he forced the cross. I think he was searching for Bustamante. Angle was wrong on the delivery. So guys, tonight's broadcast is sponsored by Salt Athletic, who have made the world's freshest, most advanced cleat bag to save athletes and their nearest and dearest from smelly footwear after the game. Magnetically sealed bag that has special technology that kills odour. If you're watching on GamerFrame.com, you can click the Salt logo in our play bar to learn more about it. A big thank you to them for supporting the broadcast, as well as the Pancyprian sponsors, American Network Solutions. Hoff. That's Lois. Jordan Bailon drills it towards Bustamante. Lovely ball. And Bustamante has been called offside. Referee didn't stick his head up. Rosero finishes, but it's not going to count. And there's going to be some unhappy Pancyprian players here. And frankly, seeing it live, I think Bustamante was probably onside, at least on first look. And it's only worse because it took the referee so long to spot it. Pancyprians felt the elation of joy, only to have it taken away. And the old guard are jumping in with their opinion as well up in the press box. But the decision's going to stand, of course. The linesman is bundled up in a balaclava, very hard to identify, perhaps tactically, given it is on the side of the press box. Fatazada into Joe Holland, who spins sharply. Holland give and go with Rosero, and Holland off balance as he took the strike. But Rosero starting to spring into life. It was a good return pass to Holland, and also very nicely taken finish on the disallowed goal. Osman. Giorgio. Hillcape. Osman. Tishuente. And the flag goes up this time against Jake Mann. But a little more promising there from Nyack. First time they've really managed to string together some passes. He knew. He's going to fire it forwards, and Bustamante is onside this time, cuts inside. Got fouled, referee's going to play advantage. Rosero. Turned into Hondrakis, who did the defensive work. Osman has done very well to carry that out for Nyack. That's a nothing ball though by Hondrakis. Rosero tussling with Gaylord and losing out. Josh Levine and Devin Hinu. There's been so many additions to this Pancyprian side this season. Hinu, one of 3 new signings in the starting 11. And of course there's McGiff, Moreno and Cook all on the bench as well. Well, Nike have survived 23.5 minutes. Relatively unscathed. The disallowed goal. Again, one to watch back to see whether it was offside or not. And then Joe Holland with the miss-struck shot, which was a decent chance. Other than that, haven't caused too much trouble there. Could have there. Rosero couldn't quite take the ball into his path. Gaylord bringing it out. Cistuente. Osman. He's searching towards Hilke. Hoff shoulder to shoulder with him. Hilke takes onto his right foot. And the first save of the night goes to Josh Levine. It's a comfortable one, straight out the keeper. Worth a crack from Hilke. Slois. Slois on the diagonal. It's another brilliant crossfield ball. The Pancyprian so good at those diagonal passes. At generating the space as well. It is such a common feature of their game. Has been for years. Being able to find them out and deliver them on a penny. Jens Hoff. Hinu. Joe Holland. Hinu back into Holland. Who is incensed once again. Holland feeling he should have had a corner once more. And Holland is going to get a talking to. Holland never has been shy about sharing his opinion with a referee. Has got him into trouble once or twice. Hinu, lovely ball. Bustamante. Firing it in. Gaylord a match for it. Bailon. Bailon speculative. It's decently caught, but straight into the hands of Wenzel. Of Wenzel, excuse me. Joe Holland. I think he was looking for a zero, but instead it's found James Tristino. Bailon. Fathazada even. Rosero. Fathazada again. Rosero. That's a good ball. Hinu. Bailon, he's been given some space. He held on to that ball too long, and Hilke will take it away for Nike. Giorgio. Durand. Hondrakis. Hilke looking to return it to Hondrakis. Cistuente instead. Fathazada took the ball, but the referee judging. He was too physical with it. And the first yellow of the evening is dished out to Fathazada. I think a little harshly. Not sure he committed a foul yet, Fathazada. And that wasn't a particularly bad one, maybe for his reaction. But not a lot of consistency from the referee, given he didn't book Joe Holland for a more sustained tirade. Umar Osman and Jake Mann over the ball. Man. Not a great delivery. It's going to come back to Nayak though, and then Man with a light touch, a really good recovery of the ball by Osman. Tistuente. Georgie. Gaylord. Jack Sloy's physical and then helped out by Rafa Bustamante. Well, it's lost by the Pancyprians in that corner. Koshilev. And back again with Nayak. Rosero. Jordan Balon. Rosero. Tristino's making a run in behind, and Rosero thought he was going to stay short. Lost though by Nayak. Balon. Rosero. Tristino's got a pocket of space. Rosero looking in towards Tristino. Our leg was hung out by Durand. Jens Hoff winning it back for the Pancyprians. Bustamante. Fatazada. Jordan Balon. Rosero. Towie. Balon. Joe Holland let it run, and Tristino wasn't behind him. It was good build-up until that point. And now Tistuente searching towards Hillcape. They're looking for a hand there. The Pancyprians, nothing given. But not a good cross in, and Levine will gather. Something to note as well, I think Nayak have just got 2 subs on the bench tonight, which could certainly work against them. Fatazada. That's a good ball. Bustamante. Rosero and Tristino in the middle. He's found, well, thought he'd found Junior Rosero. Not clicking in the final third for the Pancyprians. Georgie. Hino sticking closely to Jake Mann. Balon. It's a good ball. Tristino. Balon. Hino. Gets it back. He's got time. He's got blue shirt staying for. And it was a little panicked by Kostilev. But fortunately for him, didn't deflect into too dangerous an area. It'll be another corner for the Pancyprians. Holland once again to deliver. Gaylord with a big head out. It comes back to Bustamante. Joe Holland. Another corner for the Pancyprians. Holland once more. That's looking dangerous, but really well clutched by Wenzel, who's being charged by a couple of blue shirts. And he holds it out to Osman. come under quite a lot of pressure. It's been a little unconvincing, I think, so far. Wenzel's distribution at times from the goal kicks. He's rushed it and put his defenders under quite a lot of pressure with the short goal kicks. Junior Rosero. Towie. Goes back to Hoff. Nayak very much camped on the edge of their penalty area, but the Pancyprians just drawing one save so far from Wenzel. Hinu. He was well watched by Mann, but then Matten losing it. Joe Holland. Past Mann. Holland. They're waiting for it in the middle. Junior Rosero. Could that pass have come just a little sooner from Holland? He had Jordan Bailon and Rosero with a little bit of space there. Right in the edge of the 6-yard box, but he delayed. Nayak again able to clear. But this is the heaviest pressure yet the visitors have had to endure. They're all camped on the goal line this time. Holland towards the near post. And that came off of a Nayak shirt. I think it was Hilke at that front post. Bailon will take this corner just for variety. That's floated in, headed clear. Junior Rosero! It's a goalmouth scramble, surely! Or not. Gathered by Wenzel. That ball was bobbling around in the 6-yard box after Rosero's original strike. There was 3 blue shirts jabbing their feet at it, but somehow it ended up in Wenzel's hands instead of the back of the net. And I must confess, it was hard to see in the end what exactly transpired. There were so many bodies in there. I'm not sure if it was the save that denied Rosero initially or hit one of the defenders in the box. But all that matters from a Nayak perspective is they survived. Jens Hoff looking diagonal again, and once again it's just superb. Bustamante. Hinu on the overlap. Bailon. Hoff. Towie. Back to Hoff again. Sloys. Bustamante. Tussling with Giorgi. And then getting clattered by Tisciuente, but it was a fair tackle. But now back to seeing mere glimpses of the ball at the moment. Jordan Bailon. Rosero, half a yard. Junior Rosero! We have seen him score like that before. That was really moving in the air. About half a foot over the crossbar. It did dip towards the end of its flight, but not quite enough. I think it's fair to say there's no better long-range shooter in the New York scene than Rosero. Joe Holland gets it back from him and looked to just caress it into the bottom right corner. He had Wenzel worried, and the Pancyprians are increasingly turning the screws on Nayak. The effort starting to come with more frequency and more threat. And make sure to stay tuned at half-time, guys. We're going to have our Save of the Month nominees for October. A few EPSL nominees in there. That'll be showing at half-time, alongside with a promo for a big announcement for the EPSL. Junior Azero spinning expertly, cannoning the ball off of Kostylev. Pancyprians must be near double digits now for corners, and most of them on that far side. Joe Holland whips it in, Sloys met it well, but he was at full stretch to reach it. And whoever was marking him challenged for that ball as well, airily, and just did enough to put off Jack Sloys in his flight. Towie. There'll be a throw-in for the Pancyprians, nearing towards the half-time break. Jordan Balon drills it to Hinu, who's got a bit of space here. Lots of blue shirts coming into the area. Hinu, Junior Azero took a deflection. And Nyack are really living dangerously at the moment. Tistuente is taking a gamble. It's paid off though for Nyack. Here's Osman. It's a good ball to man. Osman. Tistuente. Hondrakis. It was the good ball in. No one really gambling for Nyack. Here's Joe Holland, who's been allowed to travel a long way. Towie and Akers. Holland goes for himself, but straight out Wenzel. It's an open period in the game. Hondrakis. Jack Sloys reading Hilke's run well, and Hilke had a little arm on the shoulder. It looks like we're in for another very interesting evening in the Eastern Premier Soccer League. Pancyprians with the dominance, but been frustrated so far in goal. That might change now. Here comes Bustamante towards the far post. Tristino. Fathazada. Lots of red shirts in the way. Fathazada hit one of them. Nyack doing really well to get bodies back, and then charging down Fathazada. And the Greeks have also kicked off, I believe, against Richmond County. You can watch that as well on Game and Frame. All our EPSL Metro games showing on gameandframe.com as well as YouTube this weekend. We're spending back into it. James Tristino is going to scamper after the ball and keep it in. Rosero. Narrow angle. Tristino floats it towards the far post. Kostylev didn't take any chances. It's another corner for the Pancyprians. But as I was saying, we are starting to look at airing onto YouTube again consistently. Big question for us is, can YouTube handle our volume? Because they do have some daily limits which aren't entirely clear. But we're going to see Joe Holland floating it in. Too much on it for Tristino. But this weekend, airing our EPSL games as well as a few others onto YouTube as well as gameandframe.com. And if that all goes well, we might expand it further than that. But rest assured, everything will continue to go on gamerframe.com as well, which has become the home of Northeast grassroots soccer these last few years. We're at over 400 games this year. It's been an incredible weekend, this one. We've had 17 games in total, including 5 EPSL games, 2 EPSL national playoffs, 6 Cosmopolitan Soccer League, MLS next action, spanning all these games from Long Island to Philadelphia. We are so grateful to be trusted by so many teams and leagues to cover their amazing clubs. Okay, didn't get his angles right on the cross. Jens Hoff. Yeah, it's like clockwork, these diagonal balls. Bustamante fizzed it in. Only Rosario to aim for. Tawi. Fathazada. It's a good block by Conaghan. Tisuente looking to dink it for Osman. Jack Sloy is intercepted but tripped on his own feet. And he's struggling a little bit, Sloy's. Hobbling. Don't know if he just trod awkwardly on the ankle. He's trying to walk it off. The Pancyprian's number 4. Tawi. That wasn't the right connection. Osman. Andrakias finding Tisuente. Durand giving it to Jake Mann. Georgie. Hill Cape. It's good football by Nyack. Mann driving it towards the far post. Hoff meeting it well. Tristino looking first time to Rosero. But the connection not paying off. Osman. It's lost. Tristino. It opens up. James Tristino! Straight into the hands of Wenzel, and that's the final action of the first half. The Pancyprians cutting frustrated figures. They have the opportunity to go 3 clear at the top of the Metropolitan Division tonight, with still a game in hand on Lansdowne, but at the moment they're not taking advantage. And it's just a handful of chances to speak of, really, for the Pancyprians. They had the disallowed goal, of course, for Junior Rosero for offside. And they drew a few saves from Wenzel. But at the moment, Nyack frustrating them, and could see a couple of the Pancyprians having goes at each other as well. I think they're feeling like they could just be a bit more ruthless in the final third. Coach Cronus with some thinking to do. But for now, guys, it's my pleasure to present to you our Save of the Month nominees, and we're also going to have an EPSL promo in our half-time reel as well. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back shortly with the second half. Ruiz struck it well. Mormont tips it onto the crossbar. Fabulous save by William Mormont. That looked destined to rip a hole in the back of the net, but Mormont with the quick reactions the slightest of touches, but it was enough to redirect it onto the crossbar.
See some runners in behind. It's Kapaka who can't get it. It's Jansen who curls it. An acrobatic save, but the threat not yet over. A sliding challenge from the captain. Soderberg called into action in the waning moments of the match and comes up with a massive save.
How's your bottle? Oh, it's saved by the goalkeeper! Goalkeeper on goalkeeper crime. Nelson Stadium. Joe Holland, that's lovely football, and Borte tipping it away from that back post acrobatically. That right leg, Agustin, Cameron Beal goes down, referee signals for advantage! Munoz required for a two-handed save.
Richmond County coming down their left. Shot. Great save from the keeper. Ball still in, second chance. Another save from the keeper. Beautiful two saves there from Daniel DeMarco.
Head. But the second ball gathered. Fabulous save by Sabadin to tip it onto the crossbar. It was an absolute pile driver, and Sabadin with his fingertips keeping the score level.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards so I know that they're together, and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
That's a good bit of footwork there by Spalding, who's gone for a spacious shot! It's magnificent by Spalding! You guys have your eyes set on the south. Why is that the next destination for the EPSL?
Well, basically for the same reason we want to be in the Northeast. We want to provide teams that want to play at a higher level with higher standards, higher field standards, higher match day standards as a whole, an opportunity to play at an affordable cost.
Our conference is the newest conference, or one of the newer conferences, and like even from the jump, like year one, we had players go pro because they're able to continue playing at a high level, they're able to get footage of themselves playing at a high level, and then they're able to market themselves off of that experience. So we've had multiple players go pro from our conference, even though, you know, it's only been around 2 or 3 years.
He's going to send it over the top. John Brown is onside. He can seal the deal here. Never in doubt. Supreme confidence by a man who's at the top of his game.
Holland, Rosero, beautiful Junior Rosero! Well, that was an emphatic strike.
Cisse pushing forward, looking up to see who he can pass the ball to. Takes a shot instead and scores!
But punch it back in. For one, great save. A second, that almost came up on the handle. Gottlieb, his chance is still gone, and not away. That's 2 saves for Priyanka.
Sebastian Ruiz. That's floating, great ball! Solano equalises for Renegades! And the cup dream is alive once again!
He spins very well, not once, but twice. Drop the possession right back to the feet of Clift. Clift slides one in.
Diving header, Bonfils for 2.
So good all game, Chang, but it's one back and Kershuba could be in now, and Kershuba, what a save that is!
Looks like it was a handball claim for the team in black. And Perez is out of net, and Body finds the net, and he scores!
Cristino, oh, it's a beautiful flick on Argudo. Does he take it himself? Yes, he does!
It'll be Bacon shooting for the far post. It's in! She beat the goalkeeper to the far post, and it's 1-0. Bacon with a free kick.
If he misses this, Renegades are very nearly home. Edward saves it! The fairy tale is within Renegade's grasp!
This from his man to Campos, and Campos just, he just took it away from him. And now Marti across to Rura, and Mark Rura, goal! Well, Cifuentes Diaz making the defenders do the Cupid shuffle.
He's got tons of space to maybe have an effort, and streaking through the right-hand side is Alsabi, and Pidgeot shoots, and what a finish that is.
Perhaps they'll look to let the seconds bleed like this. Instead, it's a giveaway for Dambeli!
Here goes Jimmy. Forward to Barry, the man in question. Barry takes a long shot and scores!
Are they going to their first ever Open Cup? Redemption for Oscar Rivas! And a fairy tale ending to a fairy tale week for New York Renegades! Hello everyone, welcome back to St John's Belson Stadium. The Pancyprians with some thinking to do at half time. They certainly were dominant, but didn't trouble Wenzel too many times. There was one very dangerous moment where Rosero struck a rebound and it went through a lot of bodies. Wenzel got the loose ball. But I think most controversially, watching back that offside call that disallowed Junior Rosero, Bustamante wasn't just onside, he was probably 6 or 7 feet onside. It was a really, really poor decision. Both sides, by the looks of it, unchanged coming out into the second period. The opportunity is there for the Pancyprians, but they're yet to seize it. The final combinations in the penalty area. That finishing touch was what they lacked. Something that you'd expect will work against Nike as the game progresses, their lack of subs. Pancyprians coming straight at their visitors. Hinu towards the back post. Sent back in by Tawi, Junior Rosero, and Samir Fathazada comes back to Bustamante. Joe Holland and Nyack survive. It was a teasing ball across the penalty area initially by Hinu, and then the return by Tawi, causing all sorts of trouble for Nyack. Here's Rafa Bustamante. It's gathered on the second attempt by Wenzel. You know, that's a good touch by him. Balon finding Bustamante. That's a clever first touch. He's away from Giorgi, who slid in, and that was enough to put off Bustamante. There's a little push in Balon's back by Hillcape. German crossfield to Rafa Bustamante. Joe Holland. And once again, Joe Holland is going to be left incredulous. Third time tonight, he's expected to get a corner kick off of a 50-50. But opts to hold his tongue. Hinu. Osman. Giorgi. Hillcape. Chests it down. Osman. It's crowded out by 3 blue shirts. Fathazada drills it directly to Balon, and then it was a little loose by Kochilev. And then the centre back was heavy on the back of Balon. Joe Holland. Okay, meeting it easily enough. Fathazada, lovely touch. And then after all that pedaz, he just dribbled it out. Fathazada back in possession. There's a poor pass by him though. Wenzel clearing the lines for Nayak. Jordan Balon. Hoff. Pass behind Hinu, who couldn't keep it in. And it's off. Bustamante. Fathazada. Hoff finds Bustamante. Or he knew even, excuse me, finds Bustamante. And Junior Rosero with half a yard here. Junior Rosero, I think he cannoned that off of Joe Holland. Might take a second for the number 10 to recover from that. Rosero. And it's worked up to Hillkate. Can Nayak just keep the ball for a few minutes? Jake Mann. Osman. Georgie rushed that a little bit. Bustamante. Ball behind James Tristino. And recovered by Hondrakis. Durand. Levine off his line. Tuene. Jordan Balon. That's a lovely ball. And Tristino is in behind. He's got Rosero in the middle. James Tristino. Rosero unable to connect on it. Balon. Georgie. Wasn't sure exactly what was behind him. And puts it out for a corner kick. Joe Holland. Swinging around. But Balon couldn't connect with it. And it goes back to Josh Levine. Balon. He knew. Jens Hoff. Tristino dropping deep for it. Rosero. Watched closely by Gaylord. And that's loose by Nayak. Jordan Balon. Joe Holland. Bustamante. Nayak are defending with their backs against the wall very well. Joe Holland towards that near post. Lovely touch by Osman, who will look to start a counter-attack for Nayak. He's looking for a foul. The referee uninterested, and Fathazada will bring it forwards again. Still a lot of options forwards. Fathazada, lovely shaped pass. James Tristino, Bustamante, and he's got checked there by Giorgi. And this is a very dangerous shooting position for the Pancyprians. And if I was a betting man, I think this is going to be Joe Holland. He's scored a few from this range this season. Junior Rosero standing over it too, but typically he's more of the specialist on the further out free kicks. Five in Wenzel's wall. Joe Holland off the crossbar. Tristino, a little shove in the back. He knew Tristino. Flag is surely going to go up, and it does against Jens Hoff. That was nearly Joe Holland's best of the season from the dead ball. You can see it pushed the frame back. Wenzel having to put it back onto the line. So well hit. Just needed to be an inch or two lower, and it would have been a sublime opener for the Pancyprians. Fathazada. Jens Hoff. And that was a clumsy tackle by Hoff, who's going to get a talking to at the very least from the referee. And in fact, a yellow card wasn't a good tackle. Well, guys, tonight's broadcast is sponsored by Salt Athletic, who have made the world's freshest, most advanced cleat bag to save athletes and their nearest and dearest from smelly footwear after the game. Their case blocks smell using anti-microbial technology that makes for odour-free car rides and houses. Learn more about their case and place your order by clicking the link below in our GameOfFrame.com player. Keep it fresh. Georgie's lost it. Balon and Bustamante surging forward, showed a little bit too much to Kostylev. Physicality of the battle heating up. That's nicely done by Tistuente. Coach Cronus has a couple of players warming up actively on the bench for the Pancyprians. Don't forget Harry Cook from Queen's College, a new signing. That's lovely ball there to Junior Rosero, cutting it across the face of goal, but took a deflection that took it into the hands of Wenzel. Harry Cook, his stats at Queen's College in 2 seasons. He has played 40 and scored 33. Tistuente showed too much to Joe Holland. Bustamante. Oh, it wasn't a precise enough return to Holland. Kostylev, a busy man at the moment. And it's probably going to get only more busy for Nayak's back line. I think Moreno also warming up for the Pancyprians. Rosero helping on to Jordan Bailon. Bailon jinking footwork. Gaylord covering well, and that's a poor pass by Hoff. Not a great first touch by Hondrakis. Tawi can retrieve it. Fathazada. Hinu. Bustamante. Georgi sticking very closely to him. Sloys. Hinu. Popped up by Fathazada to Holland. Kostilev again defending astutely. But the centre-back just ran out of space to run into. We're past the hour mark, still 0-0. Joe Holland's got that ball though, he can come into the penalty area. Joe Holland towards the far post! A foot wide. Is it starting to feel like one of those nights for the Pancyprians? Every near Pancyprian miss, Lansdowne will be believing a little bit more that they're going to be let off after their draw against Hoboken earlier today. And mind you, not saying that as if there's any shame in drawing to Hoboken, who are obviously a top team now in the EPSL, top four at least, the way they're looking currently. Joe Holland towards Rosero, but instead it's left for James Tristino. Still no. Now, it should be noted as well, the Pancyprians have still got the Greek Americans left before the winter break, which of course will mark the halfway point in the season. That will be I believe December 15th at Hofstra. That's going to be a really important contest. Lansdowne drawing that game, and it's always a complete toss-up when the Pancyprians and Greeks face each other. The Greeks got the better of the last encounter, winning the Metropolitan Division semi-final. And of course the Greeks, the EPSL national champions. Well, Nike are the first to make a sub, but they've got one imminently coming on for the Pancyprians too. Georgi withdrawn for Nyack and Chris Huakon on in his stead. Jack Sloys. Joe Holland looked to find him again. Not the right pass. Looks like it's going to be a double change for the Pancyprians. Bustamante. Pass intercepted by Tistuente. Osman. Again, him and Fathazada dueling. They're quite similar players, both love to have it at their feet. Very sharp on the spin. Jordan Bailon. eyes don't deceive me, it's Augustus McGiff who scored twice for the bench this season. Twice coming off the bench, excuse me, this season for the Pancyprians, and also Harry Cook, but we'll get confirmation once we see the back of their shirts. Hilke winning that ball. He's got Osman with him. It wasn't a great pass by Osman. And now comes Coach Cronus' first changes. Tristino will be withdrawn, and Junior Rosero as well. It's Harry Cook, indeed, who's come on at centre forwards. I think it's actually Matthew Forster, who scored a hat-trick when the Pancyprians hosted Nyack a year ago. That scoreline finished 7-1. This evening has taken on quite a different complexion. And here is Forster with his first touch. Floating it in. Hinu finding Bustamenti. Hinu again. Kostilev well positioned. He's been good in the second half. Nyack centre back Osman. Fathazada. He's looking for a run from Holland that hadn't come, but Fathazada winning it back. Nyack cannot break out. Balon. Jens Hoff. Harry Cook with his first touch, and it's going to be another free kick in a very promising position for the Pancyprians. And actually this might be a Matthew Forster one with his left foot. Let's see who it is. It's Forster! He caught that one really well. Let's sail past that far post. Not sure just how close that was. Wenzel was scrambling, and a relieved man. Kostiliev's made a mess of that. Bustamenti and Forster slightly too far ahead of him. One straight back again by the Blues. Forster. It is non-stop attacks at the moment. Forster, Bustamenti. Huakon jabbed a leg out to clear it. Hinu. Sloys. This is a real test for Nyack. One slip of concentration you feel like could be fatal. Now for the Reds. Got to hold their defensive shape. Balon. Towie. Behind Fathazada. Or behind Forster even. There's Fathazada there who committed the foul. Nike have one more substitute warming up on the bench. I believe it's Nemanja Denik, who's a centre forwards. Here's Forster, Towie on his overlap. It's Towie towards the byline. It takes a deflection and another deflection. That really could have gone anywhere. Kostilev with the initial clearance. Bounced off of either Joe Holland or Harry Cook perilously. Kostilev's made another mess of it. It's Joe Holland. And Kostilev recovered well to stick with him. 20 minutes left. With the level of pressure the Pancyprians have had so far in the second half, it does feel rather miraculous they haven't found the breakthrough. They've rattled the crossbar. And they've had a couple of near misses, but still it is goalless here. And still at the moment they're going just 1 point clear of Lansdowne instead of a potential 3. Again, with a game in hand, they face Richmond next weekend. Harry Cook. Bailon. Towie. 5 blue shirts in the penalty area. Towie drilling it in. It'll be a corner kick for the Pancyprians. Nyack are clinging on by their fingernails. Forced on the corner. And the wind is going to be gusting behind him here. It might help with the delivery. Whipped in. Sloys. There's an important intervention by Tistuente. That corner may have been making its way into the top left corner. It's Joe Holland this time to deliver. Headed clear. Forster hooking it back in. Hoff couldn't get his first touch right. Had a little pocket of space in there, Jens Hoff. Huacon a little panicked. Holland, that's a lovely ball. It's Harry Cook. And it's Forster! And it's breakthrough for the Pancyprians! Matthew Forster strikes again against Nyack. And is that the goal that gives the Pancyprians daylight at the top of the EPSL table? It's the new signing, Harry Cook, with the assist, and the other substitute, Matthew Forster, making his mark. And it had a feeling of inevitability with the amount of pressure in this second half the Pancyprians were applying. A lovely ball by Joe Holland in behind for Cook. This time the linesman's flag staying down, and Forster couldn't miss from there. Coach Cronus is going to make a double change. Bustamante and Fathazada were drawn. Moreno and Augustus McGiffon. And Forster's come onto the left side now. Well, it is a tall task for Nyack to try and find the energy to score an equaliser. They've chased the ball almost the entirety of the 74 minutes we played. But don't forget what they did against Lansdowne. They scored 3 and took it right down to the wire. Jordan Bailon. Can the Pancyprians find a second just to put this one to bed? Moreno. Sloys. Bailon. Moreno. Pancyprians happy just to keep possession and be patient. Joe Holland still with it. Cook. This time is cut back across the goal. Not as good, but not a good clearance either by Nyack. McGiff. Towney. Floated in. Bailon tried to control it with his heel, didn't succeed. McGiff. Towie took a positive first touch and then clattered into Hondrakis. And I think Hondrakis making the argument there wasn't really much he could do to get out of the way. Perhaps slightly leaned into Towie, who I don't think is feigning the pain there. I think he took a shoulder right on the chin. Joe Holland will take this free kick. Fired in across the face of goal. Huakon had a nightmare situation there facing his own goal. The slightest of errors and that was going into his own net. In the end he just managed to touch it away from the goal. That's dinked in. And McGiff. McGiff still. Augustus McGiff. Saved. Rebound. Holland. Scuffed it. Oh my goodness, how did that not go in? McGiff with dancing feet. That would have been a super second for the Pancyprians. And then Joe Holland just totally mishit the rebound. Should have been a certain second for the Pancyprians, but Nyack really struggling on the ball. They cannot keep it. Cook floating it in. Another corner. Curled in. Jack Loy's met it, but the header straight at. Nice goalkeeper, Wenzel. And now Nyack can have a rare attack forwards. Hilke trying to outpace Towie. And Towie got in front of the big centre forwards. He gets a final warning. Towie's in some pain here. Kostylev, not quite right with the touch, but recovered. Tistuene clattered from behind by Moreno. And Nayak have made a change as well. They brought on Nemanja Denik. It looks as if it's 2 up front now. I think it's Jake Mann. Or actually, no, Hondrakis withdrawn for Denik. And Jake Mann is offside. Inside the final 10 minutes, Matthew Forster's goal off the bench. Set to win this at the moment for the Pancyprians. They're unfortunate not to have more goals. But whilst it stays at 1, you can never entirely count Nayak out. Lovely football by the Pancyprians. Balon crossfield. McGiff brings it down well. Towie. Towie gets it back from McGiff. Yet another corner for the Pancyprians. They must be nearing 20 for the evening. Forster swinging it in. Dangerous ball. Lots of bodies going up for it. It comes to Jordan Balon. Or Moreno even, excuse me. Lovely little dink by Moreno. Augustus. Draws the foul from Tistuente. And Hilke will go into the book for the little afters on McGiff after the ball had gone. One more sub about to be introduced for the Pancyprians. And it's Towie who is going to make way. Forster to take. It's low, it's mishit, and he knew. For a second it looked as if it might settle for him a few yards out. Tistuente able to restore some order for Nayak. But Denik has turned into trouble, Moreno. And then there's a foul by Nayak on the far side. Joe Holland howling for a free kick on the near one. Shoros, incidentally, who came on for the Pancyprians. It's another free kick in a dangerous position for the Pancyprians. I have to say, I cannot remember a more one-sided half of football. Could probably count Nayak's touches in the Pancyprians half in this second period on one hand. But just one goal separates the sides. McGiff, slightly too much on that cross, searching towards Hoff at the far post. And a score update from our other EPSL Metropolitan game happening tonight. The Greek Americans 2-0 up against Richmond County. And it looks as if Shoros has actually moved into the number 6 position for the Pancyprians with Jordan Balon at right back. Nayak just have not been good enough on the ball this evening. We're also hearing from our own Sean Cabrera down at Hofstra that the Greeks are playing with 10 men. A red card to Ubaruch on the 45th minute. So perhaps a way back into it for Richmond. That game kicked off at 8:30 p.m. The referee's going to wave on another Nayak sub. Nayak have a chance here though, hurled in. Levine will gather. And then he got clattered in too late. And he's going to add his name to the book. There, I think it was Gaylord. It was well after the ball had been gathered by Levine. I think it's Vasily Dimopoulos who's on for Nayak at left back, the player manager. I think he's replaced Conaghan. Dimopoulos cannot find a teammate. 2 minutes left. And that was another poor tackle. They've really been flying in by Nayak. Dimopoulos has only been on the pitch for a minute, but he's added his name to the book. Well, although it's been a very one-sided affair, Nayak have once again, it looks like, unless we have something late here, held one of the big 3 teams to a single goal margin. Of course, they beat the Greeks on the opening day, and then Lansdowne losing 4-3 in that dramatic comeback by Lansdowne in the final minutes, where they were 3-2 down and scored 2 at the death. And then this one against the Pancyprians. Been very tight. Jack Sloy's Took a little gamble. Hearts in mouth for a second. Jordan Baylon. Baylon still with it. Jordan Baylon! Tipped over the crossbar by Wenzel. And of course Richmond proving to be, it seems surprisingly difficult for the big three as well. Having just been promoted, drawing against Lansdowne on Thursday. We'll see what they do against the 10 men of the Greeks. 2 goals down with about 25 minutes left, and then they play against the Pancyprians next week here at St John's. Couldn't be a tougher fixture run. They won't thank the league for that, Richmond. 3 away games in a row against the big three. Christis Juente is in a lot of discomfort here. Came together with McGiff. And guys, if you enjoyed this broadcast, or indeed any of our 17 games this weekend, please give us a follow on Instagram at Game in a Frame. We're going to have the winner of our Save of the Month contest, which still has its voting open at the moment, announced tomorrow. Clips in this game and much, much more. We're approaching 5,000 followers on Instagram. Hope if you're not one of them, we can count on you being one soon. Hinu down the channel. Kostilev. Denik, little swipe of the ball. Huakon. Good give and go in the middle from Naik, and then again, Osman. Surely not. It's Hilke. Appeals for a handball, and the Pancyprians will get it. Just for a second. The nerves jangling for the hosts. We're 2 minutes into stoppage time already. Can't imagine we'll get more than 4. Forced a lovely first touch. Hino will drive it forwards. Moreno to Harry Cook. Lovely touch by the Pancyprians' new signing, Forster. Huakon able to keep that in. I thought that had gone out, but the linesman's flag staying down. Not the first call the linesman has made tonight that has infuriated the Pancyprians. Of course, he disallowed that goal in the first half, where Bustamante, watching it back, was honestly probably 5 yards onside. Osman. Dimopoulos takes the deflection. Shoros not with a particularly good first touch. It's Osman onto his left foot. Sloy's close and well. And Joe Holland will find McGiff, who can surge forwards. It's a 3-on-3. Baylon. McGiff. Harry Cook onside. And he's just going to head to the corner. And then turn back towards it. And then fires it in. Not a good ball. Goal kick for Wenzel. And this has just got to go forwards for Naik now. Flicked on. Osman. Important touch by Hinu. Hilke. And that'll be a throw in. And then Hilke. And Hinu got in a tussle. And I think both players lucky not to get a booking there, and Hilke in particular. Obviously being on very, very fortunate. They both had a total grapple at each other, and Hilke probably the worst of the two. Had an arm around the neck and spun him around onto the ground. And that is the full-time whistle. Matthew Forster coming off the bench and sending the Pancyprian Freedoms 3 points clear at the top of the table with a game in hand on Lansdowne. They'll host Richmond here next week. If they win that, they really have control of the title race, albeit still having to play the Greeks on the final day of winter, before winter. Now Hilke is still making a nuisance of himself. And the referee shepherding him off. Well, it looked for a little while as if it wasn't going to happen for the Pancyprians. They had to wait a long time for that first goal. They had a goal wrongly disallowed. They hit the crossbar. Among many other near misses. But they got the job done in the end. Well, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll see if we can get ourselves a post-match interview with someone from the Pancyprians. We'll be right back. Ruiz struck it well. Mormont tips it onto the crossbar. Fabulous save by William Mormont. That looked destined to rip a hole in the back of the net, but Mormont with the quick reactions, the slightest of touches, but it was enough to redirect it onto the crossbar.
See some runners in behind. It's Kapaka who can't get it. It's Jansen who curls it. An acrobatic save, but the threat not yet over. A sliding challenge from the captain. Soderberg called into action in the waning moments of the match and comes up with a massive save.
How's your bottle? Oh, it's saved by the goalkeeper! Goalkeeper on goalkeeper crime. Across the stadium. Joe Holland, that's lovely football, and Borte tipping it away from that back post acrobatically. At right leg, Agustin, Cameron Beal goes down, referee signals for advantage! Munoz required for a two-handed save!
Richmond County coming down there left. Shot. Great save from the keeper. Ball still in, second chance. Another save from the keeper. Beautiful two saves there from Daniel DeMarco.
Initial head. But the second ball gathered. Fabulous save by Sabadin to tip it onto the crossbar. It was an absolute pile driver, and Sabadin with his fingertips keeping the score level.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The salt air case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards, so I know that they're together, and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings, and it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
That's a good bit of footwork there by Spalding. It's gone for a spaceship shot! It's magnificent by Spalding!
Hey guys, I'm with the super subs, Matthew Forster and Harry Cook. Matthew, I'll start with you. I remember you scored a hat-trick against Nyack a year ago at home. Maybe you don't remember.
Yeah, no,
it's a long game before.
Me,
I know. Yeah, we'll look at the stats a bit more. But yes, once again, you made your mark. Describe what was your feeling coming off the bench, because you guys were dominating, but it was starting to feel like one of those nights where you just weren't going to find that goal.
Yeah, it did feel like that. I think the first half we played really well, good in and out football, getting it wide, and we couldn't really break the deadlock. I think we had the offside goal in the first half that we felt unfortunate. So I think we both wanted to come on and make a difference, and we're lucky we did.
Harry, you got the assist. You really drove aggressively down the byline. What was going through your head when you got that ball?
Yeah, just looking to getting behind early. Just saw that the game was opening up quite nicely, coming towards the back of the last 20 minutes. Coach said, just run in them channels. So just found the right ball, and luckily he was on the end of it.
The Pancyprian's new signing helping you out, Matthew, and
yeah.
and you guys have got a lot of new players in the squad this season. Do you feel now that you guys are a few months in to this season that everything's really starting to gel?
Yeah, 100%. It normally takes us a few games to get going after the breaks, and to be honest, like right now we got straight into it. And I think the good thing is that we've got the fresh legs off the bench and the older guys. So even those games are not playing that well, we always seem to find a way to win or at least get a point. So yeah, 100%.
You know it normally comes down to you and Lansdowne. They drew early today against Hoboken, so that means you guys are 3 points ahead now, with the game in hand as well. Does this feel like a big shift in momentum?
I think it's too early to say. I think we know what it's like at the end of every season with this. It's always so tight. I think we just take it a game at a time. They're a great team. We think we're pretty good as well, so I'm sure they'll take us to the end and they'll push us. But yeah, a bit too early to say.
Fair enough. It normally does go to the end, and it always is great for a neutral. And Harry, I finished with you. Second appearance for the Pancyprians. How excited are you to be playing for the team?
Yeah, really excited. Get to play with some great players at the top level. So it's just nice to keep ticking on all the way up to Christmas, and then we're back after Christmas, and it's great to be playing with these boys.
Well, guys, you saw the English takeover here at St John's off the bench. Well done, Matty. Well done, Harry. Hope you can get one. Well played, guys. See you next week. Take care. Well, that does it for us here at St John's Stadium. The Greeks should still be playing on Game of Frame, so you can switch over to that stream. Won't be too much longer left in that game, but the last I heard, with about 20 minutes left, they were 2-0 up, down to 10 men, though, against Richmond County. Richmond County will come back here next week against the Pancyprians. If they win that, they go 6 points clear at the top of the Metropolitan division, and then there'll be a break from the league games for the Cup, and then the Pancyprians will go away to the Greeks on December 15th, and Lansdowne will also have their final game before the winter break, the midway point of the season, that weekend as well. So, like Matthew Foster said, still a lot to play for. It gets so unpredictable, but the Pancyprians poking their nose ahead tonight. Big thank you to Christopher Rendon for doing great work behind the camera. Thank you to the Pancyprians for bringing us down there. As always, thank you to Salt Athletic, our sponsor, and thank you to all of you for watching. This is Josh Pratt signing off from Bellson Stadium. Have a good evening, everyone.